Hi, I'm Jack Buffkin. I'm with Superior Life Solutions, and what we do is voluntary payroll benefits, specifically legal service plans, identity theft protection, that type of stuff, to the work site, to mainly small businesses.
Okay, cool. And for some context too, Jack joined our do-it-yourself program. We have our do-it-yourself, our done with you, and our done for you services. So we're talking in terms of our DIY training product. Jack, why were you seeking commission-based sales recruiting services?
Well, we had, they moved the cheese on us a while back. So we did it a certain way for a long time. We were chasing resumes. We were doing that, and quite frankly, about a decade ago, did very well with that. And
yeah.
We just need a high volume of people coming in because, as you're aware, Ryan, in straight commission sales, the stick rates are not high. So we have to bring in a lot of people to give them the chance to excel, and so that just you necessarily have to bring in a lot of people. So that's why we were looking for a bit of help, because we'd come to the end of the road of what we had been doing.
Yeah, and talk about that a little bit more. Like, what were your frustrations around recruiting before connecting with us?
Gotcha. So, with a resume, it was a one-on-one. You'd call the person, they call you back. You'd spend a long time with them, and then you'd move to the next one. And then, so you could go through maybe 4 or 5 of those in a week's time. And the volume just was not there. At one point, a while back, we were doing very high volume, recruiting, very similar to what you guys train on. But as I went through the training, Ryan, I realized all the stuff we did wrong. And I wish I had known you 10, 15 years ago, because I would have had a whole better, we have a great organization, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But I would have had a much healthier organization, a much more dynamic organization than we do today. And so I was just blown away with the stuff that I was learning, because I came in a little bit skeptical, going, okay, well, what's this guy going to teach? We've been doing this for 26 years. Right? So and then I went, wow, I never thought of this. I never thought of that. Man, have we been doing this? We probably still have X. I could think of the people we probably would still have on board had we just done things a bit differently,
Yeah. So what, if anything comes to mind, like what are 2 or 3 of those things that were kind of light bulbs that are impacting the company now?
Okay, so one of the things that I tried to think through, and what I love about on the front end of the interview process is the accountability statement, right? And the accountability document of hey, we're going to do this for you. We expect this of you. You need to do that. Blah 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 blah. And another thing that really just was a lightning bolt moment for me was how important the back end is. It's one thing to bring somebody on board. That's probably the simpler part, quite frankly.
Yeah.
It's the onboarding and what they see after that. Because it can blow somebody out of the business if they're not impressed with what you got behind the curtain. Right?
Yeah.
And that's what I went, wow, that's something we didn't pay a whole lot of attention to. It was all front loaded. It was all like, let's just get them in, throw a hat on them and see what they can do. Which is not the way to do it.
Yeah, you've been recruiting for over 20 years. So you're, if you compare it to like other entrepreneurs, you're a great recruiter, right? So from a recruiting perspective, it's like you're implementing the process and you got these little gold nuggets and you're saving a ton of time. And that's pretty cookie cutter. And then you realize you're saying that, hey, the recruiting process, that's cookie cutter, that's pumping the bodies in. One of the things that stuck out to us was implementing the expectation agreement. So, managerially, it's easy to, manage people and hold them accountable to, the minimum expectations. And then also kind of all the systems that come after signing the rep, so they even have a chance for success.
Right. That's exactly correct. And that's the things we really did not do well, quite frankly. We just didn't.
It's hard. It's a lot of work.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
it is.
What's a couple more questions. So what's the one thing that you have enjoyed most about working with us or going through training?
I love your support, man, and I love the whole community that you've built. because it's a community of
Awesome.
like-minded, small business owners and people that have the same concerns, have the same challenges that we have, and learning from them and listening to, all of the great knowledge and things that are being learned in the field in real time. That's really a phenomenal thing. So
very cool.
So I love the culture and the community that you built. It really is cool, because this is something that is so hard to find. It's such an amazing niche that you carved out, because it really is, because there's going to be a whole lot, just in the last, since 2020, there's going to be a whole lot of more people working from home, building their companies from home, doing all that kind of stuff. We don't have, the wherewithal that a major HR department has. We just don't have that, so your resource is amazing, man. It really is. It's fantastic.
Appreciate that, my friend. Last question. What would you say to somebody considering to invest into one of our products or services? I would say,
jump. I mean, it is a phenomenal product, man. Our ROI, and that's what I always have to pay attention to. I'm not too scared to spend the money if I can see, okay, well, the ROI on this is going to be huge, so if I can spend 2,000, whatever, the amount of money, but I make 5 times that back in additional revenues, I don't even think about it. It's like, okay, well, that's a great investment, I mean, it is. So I would invest in your business. If you are a person that needs, commissioned salespeople, you've never done it, especially if you've never done it before. I mean, I can't even imagine what my business would look like if you had been there in 1996 when I first started. Were you even born then, Ryan?
I was just gonna say, I think I was.
So if you had been there for me, man, back in then, man, I would have been. My whole business would have looked completely different. I mean, absolutely different. So
that's awesome. Well, Jack, I appreciate you, my friend. Thank you so much for your time.